Hello, beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to your day of block for this week's readings. We have been looking at the energy of this week. It's been interesting so far. Yeah, it's been interesting. So we're going to look at your block. It's movement, choices, and decisions. I'm going to pull what they want us to look at the block. Like what, I don't want to say compartment, but it's like a shading. It's a nuance of what is here. Okay, so what you're receiving from the block, or what you're feeling from the block. Let's just keep going here. So this is indicating a time of movement. Significant changes and choices must be made. With hard work, great effort, and determination, you have the ability to juggle all the demands that are in front of you. Whether they concern money, business decisions, or other projects, it's important to stay flexible and focused. You don't have to do it alone. Reach out for the best advice and assistance. In addition, a financial union or partnership may present itself to you. The more time you take to make these vital decisions and choices, the longer it will be before you can move towards your goal in the physical material world. And the changes are emerging aren't some random acts or coincidences. They're all part of a positive or larger scheme. Notice the connection with everything, as this will enable you to avoid future problems and conflicts. Okay, so I feel that you are looking at something intently. With the Queen of Cups coming in with it, I believe that Spirit is asking for this block for you to pay attention to your intuition, to what you're receiving. I think that's the main key point they want to bring in this reading of the block is, what are you feeling about this? Okay? Now, I can't tell you the difference between real fears or perceived ones. In other words, well, I get this question all the time. What if my fear is my intuition? You have to realize if it's an insecurity that comes from something you've experienced before, a fear of failure, something like that, and if your intuition is actually the one begging you to make a decision, telling you, get moving, start something in confidence, okay? So I always tell people maybe you should journal, have a conversation with yourself. Journaling is the best way to have a conversation with yourself. It's like, why am I fearing making this decision, and let whatever comes out come out. You will see quickly enough if it's something from your past. If you start sentences like, well, I've failed at this before, it's something from your past that has got you kind of scared, right? And then the idea is to kind of write down everything you've done in preparation for this, right? If you're doing it without thought or without any organization or a plan of action or anything, your fears may be founded in something. But if you've done the legwork and you've done the hard work, any work to this, to planning this, you're maybe leading with a fear that's just perceived because your fear of failure because of failures in the past, or seeing somebody fail in the past, or just being, in my case, I was with somebody who was very negative, who always said, well, only good things happen to other people. So living with that for 10 to 14 years, and somebody becoming a self-perceived, how do you call that? They made it happen because they kept saying it. Well, then that's something different. Okay. My perimenopause brain now is looking for words, so we're going to have fun today. Okay, so you have movement, choices, decisions, and I want to look at this card more deeply because you see somebody standing there, and there's a door with, of course, money, a door with wedding rings showing, maybe heart or decisions about relationships. You have the green door with the plant kind of coming in with showing growth, and planting ideas. And then you have the last window with air. Well, the sky, which is air, and it indicates all the four different elements, right? You have this last door over here that this person is really not paying attention to. And this would be, I would, usually there's the four elements in spirit, right? I would veer towards that window a little more, because I feel that you're focusing a lot on materialistic things and you're not paying attention to your intuition. And this is what this is, okay, with the Queen. It's about your intuition. It's about what you feel inside. So let's pull some cards here. And let's see how else they can help you with your... What am I getting from this? With the Page of Wands here, I'm getting something very specific. I feel that with the Page of Wands, is the first things that came in or coming is, aren't you tired of always having to unpack things before you do them? In other words, it's like you always have to do the 100 questions of why things won't work, or, you know, I'm not talking about planning here. I'm talking about this conversation we have with ourselves, where we feel really old, okay? Like we're going, well, why should I do this? And how will this happen? And all of these things. The Page of Wands is coming in to say, just, you know, set fire to your dreams, follow them passionately, and act like you're brand new. Like, make yourself feel new in this energy instead of bringing old energy to this new idea. There you go. There's that. That's what I'm trying to bring in. And the other part of this is also saying is that, you know, it's not your first rodeo. This is the Wheel of Fortune. This is like 10. This is halfway through any kind of journey in the major arcana. And by this time, you've perfected a lot of things. You've seen a lot of things. You've even passed through the Empress of Creativity, the High Priestess of Intuition, the Hierophant of Learning the Lessons, the Lovers of Choosing Harmony, the Chariot of Moving Forward, the Strength of Grabbing the Courage to Do it, and the Hermit of knowing yourself so well. By the time you get to the Wheel of Fortune, you have a lot going for you. You have a lot that can happen with the Nine of Pentacles. So you don't really need to be doing this old energy of just, you know, like, what do I do? I feel that this doubt that you bring forward, or this block that's coming through, is very tiring. I feel very tired with it. It's like a very old story. And it's time to bring new energy. Yeah, now she's deciding to be a pain. I can hear her in the background. Well, I'm not paying attention to you, Missy. You can do whatever you want back there. I'm staying right here. All right. Rest and rejuvenate. Oh, I like that. That feels very Four of Swords. And passion ignited. Yeah. You see, that's what I'm feeling here. Is that you should be, like, setting yourself on fire for the ideas. Not literally, not literally. I mean, your soul, your ideas, you should go with the flow of that beautiful, passionate idea. You know, that spark that inspired you to begin, instead of getting stuck in that. So I feel that they're suggesting to take a rest, okay? Take a good rest, literal rest, like sleep, like, you know, dodo. That's what I call it. Okay, take a break from this ruminating, contemplating crap, and go back to the idea of what initially set you ablaze about whatever you're bringing forward. It could be a relationship, brand new relationship, right? It's always so exciting. What brought you to this point? Ideas for businesses, career, anything that this applies to right now. What set you on fire? What made you look like this? Okay? You see how she's looking up, like, oh, that beautiful heated flame, that energy, and you can almost feel the spirit energy, the dance in the cup, right? You feel, where did this positive growth come from? Was it a place of doubt, of fear? No, it was a place of higher, I don't know, inspiration, you want to call it? So if you need to, take a break, okay? I like the way he's like meditating and somewhere green and somber, but I mean, just take a break to be with yourself and, you know, get away from the doors of trying to figure out this stuff that's kind of giving you that roadblock feeling, and reconnect, okay? Reconnect with you, with your passion. Yeah. Okay, this is too somber. I just feel that somehow you're separating yourself from your dream, okay? This is what I feel. I feel you're separating yourself from your dream. What needs to happen is a breakthrough moment, and I feel that these are the aces, right? Go back to the beginning, go back to the idea of why you started this, okay? And why it felt good, because whatever you have in your mind, you had a breakthrough of some sort. You decided that it was time for you to do this, okay? But now for some reason, it's really slowing down your chariot, your movement. You're slowing it off, and you need to really deal with the why that is. Why are this moment in time, are you now suddenly doubting yourself? I mean, it really does come into that, right? So we go back to what they're saying. Go back to the point, the beginning, the receiving, okay? The Queen of Cups moment when you received the idea, where it went, eureka, I want to do that. I'm passionate about it. Where is the disconnect? The Five of Pentacles. What happened to make you disconnect from this? What is the thought, the moment, the idea? Okay? Yeah, what did you see in that garden? Okay. What did you see in that garden that suddenly restricted your movements? They're also telling me, they said, remember, when we started this year of 7, it wasn't to find the things that didn't work, the fruit that fell off, that wasn't going anywhere. It was to actually cultivate the stuff that work and expand upon it. You're reverting back to the devil energy where things are being, it's almost like retreating to a safe spot where it's the devil, you know, right? It's safer not to do it than to do it, because if you don't do it, then you don't risk failure. It's just that. I feel that is that. It's like if you don't try, then you're not failing. But the part that you're missing here is that if you don't try, you get nothing, because out of nothing comes nothing. Okay, so you restrict yourself. You fool yourself into thinking that you're not forsaking anything, but you are. You're giving everything up. Yeah. Yeah. So, before I carry on, I have to tell you, okay? I'm not talking about things that are very dangerous for you, okay? If there's a reason to be afraid of something, please make sure that you have all the facts, everything. Do the groundwork in anything that you're trying right now, okay? I don't want you to go out there and I know it sounds like I'm going, well, Jane, now you're telling us to be afraid. No, I'm telling you as another human being, I understand how scary it is to do things without a plan, you know. The one thing that I've realized, though, that for myself, and this is for me, okay? I'm starting to realize that I'm regretting a lot more the things that I didn't give a shot to. You know, that I think to myself now, if I would have failed at something, what is the worst that would have happened? I would have had to try again. Okay? And I'm not talking about, you know, death-defying stunts or anything. I'm talking about, you know, starting a business or, you know, going it on my own and getting the support of certain people or whatever and asking them, you know, to understand and stuff. And I was so afraid of being a burden to anybody. I was so afraid of trying anything that I just did this. Well, it's better not to try. Then I don't fail. I stay here and nobody's put out by me, okay? Sometimes I sit here and I do regret. I do regret not doing the things that I wanted to do, okay? I'm gonna give you a little bit of an insight. I'm gonna give you a little bit of an insight. Late 80s, there's a concert of an artist that has now passed away. I went to see him, and at the time I was so, like, you know, over the moon about him. Loved him, you know. And I was on the sidelines, and where I am, because I'm in Canada, and at the time, it was pretty open. Like, it was pretty open. It was a lot freer than it is now. And as he finished his concert, I saw a gap in the gate. And I could have run out to him as he was coming off the stage and running to his car. I could have tried. I could have tried to see him, to say hello to him, to make him know I was alive, right? Without, you know, doing the weird stuff. But at least having said that, I could say, you know, I saw the opportunity and I ran out to see him, and I wouldn't have gotten hurt or anything because, like I said, at the time there was a lot less people. There was nobody with guns. It was, you know, it was really kind of a different time. But I stood back and watched that space and watched him walk and watched the space and never took the opportunity. To this day, I still regret not doing it, because I thought to myself, what if I go up to him and they drag me away and put me in jail? You know, I was young. I was so afraid, and I would have thought, well, I guess I would have had to make a phone call and tell my parents, hey, I'm in jail. Because, or they're holding me. You know, I don't think they would have done much. I'm not a crazy person. I don't think they would have done too much to me. And like I said, I'm in Canada. You know, it's pretty easy over here. I would have called my parents, and my parents would have been, you know, like terribly like, what are you doing? But it would have been okay, right? In the end, it would have just been a story. I remember the time I took the chance, went to see him, and they put me in jail. You know, I had to call my parents. I had to come and get me. It would have been an interesting and kind of fun story. If that's even how it ended up, maybe something even better would have happened, you know? Maybe he would have given me his autograph. Maybe he would have said something to me one-on-one. Maybe they would have just, you know, brought me back to the, you know, the area where everybody was, which is probably more likely. But in my mind, I was so afraid that the bad thing was going to happen. And I did get the, take your chance. This is the only chance you're ever going to get. And I heard it clear. This is the only chance. And they were right, because he's no longer with us. He's passed to the other side. I'm never going to get to speak to him. Well, not physically anyway. And it was such an opportunity. And I have quite a few of those, because I was always so scared of my own shadow, scared of living, scared of trying, scared of anything. Okay? So now at this age, if I'd had the opportunity, I would have taken it. I would have made an opportunity if I could. And, you know, and the world's a much different place. It might have turned out even worse, but I would have called my husband and go, I went for it. And I would have not cared. But please, in your life, when you have an opportunity that presents itself to you, okay? And I'm not saying run out and get yourself arrested. It's such a bad example. I'm such a bad example here. But, you know, you're going to regret a lot more the stuff that you didn't do than the stuff that you saved yourself from, or at least perceived yourself saving yourself from, okay? Life's a beautiful dance. If you're constantly redirecting yourself into a dance you don't want, eventually you're going to end up in a life you don't want. I'm telling you, okay? If you perceive danger and no fun anywhere in your life, I don't know. You're receiving, but it's not coming out. Okay? I've wanted to tell that story for so long. I feel like I've just confessed. Oh, and yes, I do regret. Oh, I regret. I can see it clear as day. I can see the green field that he was walking across. I could see it. Actually, I had the thought before. I thought maybe I could like run to the limo because I saw it arrive. I said, I'll run to the limo, wait for him there. Scare the crap out of him. And I thought, well, that wouldn't be cool at all. You know? Oh, well. The Rose's Kiss. I feel that this is this card right here. Okay? You have the 9 and you have the 9 here. Whatever effort you put in whatever you're doing, that's what you're going to get back. Sometimes I think that you're afraid that your hard work is just not going to come back to you. Okay? That the hard work you put in is going to be just not received. the Rose's Kiss. Let's see. Let's see what it has to say, Pisces. Let's get back on track with this. 9. Take a deep breath and center on the feeling of joy. It's this right here. Okay? Can you allow your senses to awaken and connect with your innate desire to experience all life has to offer? And I think that's what my experience was. Life has to offer a lot of things. Sometimes you have to take, chances and see what happens. Okay? Pleasure is part of life. Let yourself surrender to it today. Our modern times often present a false ideal of how we're meant to experience the world. Connections are lost and distorted by our over-reliance on technology. Just look around and see how few people actually maintain eye contact or engage in conversation. I have noticed this, Pisces. I am an eye contact person. Oh my God, am I ever. I've noticed all my life that I make people really uncomfortable because I won't break eye contact. I will look at you straight in the eye and just stay there. I will live in there. People just can't do it. It's the strangest thing. Okay, so instead of tapping away at a screen, pause and consider how you can make more intimate contact, connecting with nature, enjoying sensual pleasures of sex, or being aware of the sensation of taste, touch, smell, sight, sound may be important right now. How do your sheets feel? Can you reach out and feel and hear the softness of your companion animal nestled beside you? Be present to another person. See them. Let yourself be seen. Your 5 senses are aching to be engaged right now. This is an invitation to get out of your head and into your body. You may be a spiritual and intelligent being, but right now the emphasis should be on having a sensory experience. This is a sacred part of this gift of life. By being present to the sensual world, you invite an even deeper spiritual experience. Amazing, isn't it? Perhaps it really is time to stop and kiss the roses. Okay, and another thing came in through my experience, which I was going to totally block out of this. What if I had made an impression on that person and that person had become my friend? A lifelong friendship. Okay? What could I have offered him? Okay? And I'm not even talking about being, his girlfriend or a lover or any of that. I'm talking about just being a friend, somebody you keep connected to. What if? Stranger things could have happened, right? I'm an exceptional person. Why not? Okay? So this is the kind of stuff is like, we always downplay things thinking, I took my shot and I'm just it's a shot in the pan. It's a moment in time. What if greatness happens after you actually reach out and touch somebody, right? I feel that. I feel that more than anything. So I'm not leading you to be a bad example. I'm leading you to say, if you see an opportunity to meet or admire somebody, to take a shot at a business idea, to take that course that you're talking yourself out of, to meet the person you've always wanted to meet because of, preconceived notions that they're better than you and, nobody. My biggest fear is like he'd look at me and say, who the hell are you and who cares? But what if that didn't happen? What if he had met me and thought, she's a pretty cool girl, What if? You can't live in what ifs. You can't go by what everybody else is. You are a fantastic human being, and you have the ability to create some wonderful things. Don't live in regret of the things you didn't try, okay? Okay, so I'm going to take this because I feel that these two were coming out more than the other two. They were the first two anyway. Making a difference. My inner light shines far and wide, and I am an incredible, generous being. And that's what I was kind of like telling you right here, right? What if you made a difference by doing what you did? Okay? I'm still not talking about this person, but this person, what if this person that I was wanted to meet, I became like friends with, this artist in question had a very hard time with mental illness, okay, through his lifetime. And what if a friend like me would have made a difference? Right? Maybe not. But what if? I'll never know because I never tried, right? So extend yourself. Like if you're thinking great things may happen, much more than you even anticipate. Share of yourself. Share of yourself. Show your stripes, okay? Show yourself. Look at this. I love this. Ballerina on a zebra. Yes. Let's do it. There's very little I'd say no to now. Well, if I say no to it, it's just because I don't feel it. I don't feel it, right? Yeah. But absolutely. All right. So, let's see here. Let's grab some more. Oh, I'm glad you guys love me. Put up with my stories because it's, you know. I know. My beautiful ones, you're going, oh, I love your stories. I hear you. There's a lot of you that I hear, right? Okay. So I have mountain and movement. So we have the Wheel of Fortune again. We have movement here with this too. It's written right here, movement. The word movement is coming in again. And what I'm feeling is that with the mountain, it seems like, oh God, this is so high. I'm never going to get past it. Sometimes we look at situations as a great big mountain in front of us, right? But until you start moving, how do you know you can't get past it? How do you know that you just can't get through it? Oh my God, look at this. Okay, I can see it, but I don't know if you can see it. Look at the top of this, whatever, ostrich, emu, whatever the heck it is there. I think it's an ostrich. There's like a windmill and a little thing. Look at this. Look at the shadow of this. You can almost see the windmill and the same thing. Look, it's like they just took part of... Doesn't that look like the same thing? How interesting. And do you notice how tall this ostrich looks? It looks like it's a humongous ostrich getting you over the hurdle. So I'm feeling that this mountain becomes a molehill when you start moving. Yeah. Yeah. The 6, it's bringing in the Lovers, this decision to move in harmony with yourself. And then you have the Wheel, the 28, which is the 10, the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a personal decision, okay? This is a personal decision of like just seeing part of the mountain, especially with this moon that's just shining a part of it. You're going only seeing part of this problem. Yeah, so you definitely need to do movement, okay? Because I feel that you're paralyzing yourself by doing this. You're putting yourself in paralysis. Analysis, paralysis is what I feel. That's what I feel. And I like I said, completely there with you, Pisces. I've done that half my life. Like I said, opportunity knocked. I mean, opened a big, huge door for me. And no, did not take it. Did not take it. Okay? There's that 2 of Wands again. Okay? The 2 of Wands, it's that contemplation, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I feel that they're saying movement again. Do you see it? Do you see it? It's like again and again. The Six of Swords is transitioning. It's like they're saying, just go. Just start walking. Just see what happens, right? What momentum you can get. But like I said, Jane's going to repeat it for all the younger viewers and the ones who, well, are not so young and can get in trouble. Don't do anything illegal. Please don't get yourself arrested, okay? Mama Jane takes over here going, just don't do that. But live your life, okay? I'm at an odds. Okay, so I sound completely, I don't know. Is this hypocrisy? Maybe. I don't know. I feel your pain. I will just say that, okay? But I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, we come here to live our lives. If we don't do anything at all, how are we going to ever feel anything at all, right? Once you ignite passions, it's, you know, it's time to do it, right? Don't disconnect yourself. This is the second time the Five of Pentacles has come in this reading. It's the card of isolation. It's saying, like, don't isolate yourself from your experiences. Be the star. Be the star. You see, because even, again, it's coming back to when I looked at this artist, I valued him more than myself. Okay? Sometimes it's about that as well. We think we're less important than certain peoples. At the time that happened a lot in the 80s, you know, they were stars. They're much better than us. But they're still human beings, right? You're your star. Give yourself, like, credit that you're valuable, that you matter, that you can go after what you want, right? And yeah, go after your beautiful dreams. Okay? Renew that hope and that optimism, that boundless feeling that you have. Heal yourself from thinking that you can't, okay? Recapture that receiving energy that first got you to think of the idea, right? Like, why did you think it was cool to do something, but then suddenly talk yourself out of it? Because of common sense? But is it really common sense? That's the other part, right? Did it make sense? Or is it something, a narrative that you're telling yourself, right? By me wanting to meet somebody who was, like, you know, in the public eye, because I wanted to make a connection with that person and even just tell them, you're awesome, okay? Did I have a right to tell somebody they were awesome? Yeah, I did. I did. I'm not less human because that person has that talent and was, you know, was for the moment the star of the of the show, of the planet at that moment. They're gifted, but so was I, right? So was I putting myself on a good scale with that person? Probably not. I was isolating myself from that human being, right? It's just kind of weird. There's so many nuances to all of that. I could unpack my story forever and probably find different ways that to regret even more not having done what I did, or even just justify it. But it's always good to look at things and see, how do you isolate yourself? How do you, like, put yourself together? How do you make it all work out with each other? Sometimes you really have to think it through. Okay? I don't know. It's been a weird reading, Pisces, but I won't lie. And I don't know if I'll leave this up, but I probably will. I probably will. There you go. I got my answer. Thank you so much for being here, Pisces. I hope that you've got the gist of my message. Please don't do anything, you know, ridiculous. But just don't live with what if. It's living with what ifs. Sometimes those are worse than actually have tried something. If nothing else, they'll make great stories in your future. So I'm sending you a lot of love, life, and love life. Love, light, and blessings, as always, and a lot of life too, my beautiful Pisces. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you in tomorrow's reading. Bye for now.